Hey guys, welcome back. So I wanted to take some time to do a review on my experience having spent a couple weeks with the K3. Um, I really like this keyboard. It has grown on me. And there are some things that have changed a little bit since my initial review. I also wanted to show you the RGB lights, and I do have a K1 here with the white lights. I'm going to also show you that in the dark, and those are the brown switches, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. So first off, this keyboard has grown on me. I've been using the K1 with the brown switches more, but I do like this one. It's very quiet. It has a good typing experience. Initially, when I spoke about this keyboard, I said that the lightness of the case was a little bit disappointing, but really I think that's a benefit to this keyboard because this key, since it's smaller and lighter, is going to be better if you're moving between like home office and taking this into work. They have cases that you can buy on Keychron, and there might be some other cases that fit this really well. But yeah, the lightness of it, the size of it, it's real easy to throw in a case and bring into work. And personally, I like the fact that it's wired so you don't have to mess with Bluetooth. That's why I ended up going on this spree of finding a better keyboard because I had a K380 that was just having so many issues connecting to the Bluetooth that every time I had an idea or something that I wanted to go work on my computer, I had to spend 5 minutes fighting with the Bluetooth, resetting it, restarting my computer just to get it to connect and work, which is just a hassle. So I'm going to be selling that as soon as I can. So I picked up these. I found Keychron, and I like the wired. I like not having to mess with it. It's not in the way much. Anyway, once these keys loosened up a little bit, they feel really good to type on, and they're not noisy. So I think I'm going to keep this as my go-to for office work. And then I'm going to switch out to the K1 for primarily home use. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. And again, these RGB lights, I don't know if I did a kind of like top-down view of them, but the RGB lights look so good. It's very much worth it. I know they're a little bit harder to get a hold of just because they sell out, but it's worth the $10. If you can get a hold of them, I do recommend them. And I'm going to switch to the different colors here just to give you an idea. These are much better in the dark. Oops, let me turn it back on here. That's interesting. There's so many different effects. I'm going to show you the brightness levels too here in just a moment. Some of these are kind of crazy and you would never really use them. At least I wouldn't, but anyway, so there is a brightness control here, these two buttons here. So that I guess was kind of like medium. And that's the brightest. And I really like them because they are not super distracting. Like even if you're working late at night, these are not going to be too bright in your eyes. And I'm going to show you the difference between that and the K1 with the white backlight. So there you can see the white backlight. They look really good. I think all these Keychron keyboards have a really nice design. And some people, they might say the floating keycap is ugly. I personally think they are very different, and I think they are just fantastic looking. So just to show you, this is That's not even full brightness. Yeah, the brightest setting is really, really bright. And even when it's low, I'm sure you can tell the difference between the RGBs and these, as far as like just the glaring brightness in your eyes. Ugh, I would never want to work with these late that bright. So these have a bunch of different modes too. I kind of like this one where it kind of like dims out. But I probably wouldn't use any of these other crazy modes. It's a little distracting when you type. So anyway, I'm just going to leave that like that and show you a little bit of the brown keys and talk about those for just a moment. It's a little bit, typing a little bit aggressively. They're not as quiet as the red opticals, but they do have a better feel to them, I think. And I think even as they break in a little bit more, I've only had these for about a week. When I initially got them, I thought that they felt mushy. They didn't have quite the same tactile feel as the blue switches. I think the blue switches have probably the best feel, to be completely honest with you. They are, and again, I've got the blue switches here. You probably can't see that great, but these, it actually feels to me that the blue switches require less actuation. So these brown switches, maybe once they're broken in, they'll have like a similar feel, but I think they're a little bit harder to type on. They're not quite as fast, but again, that might change as they break in. I will say they have loosened up a little bit, so they feel better than I initially thought. And they have grown on me. And for some reason, I don't know, it just feels like typing on like wooden keys. I don't know what it is. But anyway, there you go. I just wanted to share, some thoughts on these, because I know as you're shopping, there's probably a ton of things that you're trying to understand, and you might not want to order a bunch of different keyboards, and this is something that I probably wouldn't do otherwise, but seeing as I'm staying inside in the pandemic, I'm on my computer a lot, and these are tools that I'm going to use a lot of, just spend a lot of time working at the computer. I want these to work the way that, this way they're optimal and fast and things like that, and not distracting. Whereas I find the blue switches very distracting, even though I think they are great. And some people might like the clickiness of that. I will say I used to work with a coworker who was a writer. She had a keyboard that had a set of keys that were very loud. I don't know what it was, but she was just typing away and just happy as can be. But I'll say they were loud in the office, and they weren't too bad. Nobody, I think, really minded terribly. Most people had headphones in and whatnot. But yeah, when I'm at home working, I don't want that noise. I don't want the clickiness of this, the blue keys here. It's just kind of crazy. Anyway, so I just wanted to share my experiences. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.